You're rocking with the best. Thoughts of the week. Let's go. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Thoughts of the Week podcast. And hopefully you guys can hear me. And see me pretty well. I thought I'd do this special podcast, so to speak. And I say special is only because I'm using an app to go live. And I really want to try this live out, see how things work. And when I go back to watch the replay, I will find out and see how things are going with this particular app. And so we're going to get right into it, man. Before we get into it, you guys go to the product store. All right? Go to the product store, theproductstorecompany.com. You can get all types of products there. They got courses. They got online courses. They have books. They have, I think it's one Christmas doll, or teddy bear, as to say, left. And other products as well. So you guys go to theproductstorecompany.com. All right? Theproductstorecompany.com. I appreciate that for y'all. We're going to get that out of here. And again, like I said, I'm trying out a new app, and I want to see how it works out. And when I take a look back at the replay, and if it comes out pretty good, I'll be using it a lot more when I want to go live when I go live mobilely, and because I want to start doing some more live stuff, not just here, but on other platforms that I have, other YouTube and Facebook platforms. I want to be able to go live and do some things for the 2020. So I'm testing it out this time, right here on this channel, first time. I actually tried it out, testing it on this channel, but actually doing an actual full show. We're going to do that today, all right, on this channel, because I also tried other channels as well. All right, so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the return of Nat Turner's skull. It's crazy. We're going to talk about Oprah and her antics. All right. And what else we're going to talk about here? There's one more thing. We're talking about, the white power hand sign. And so let's talk about the white power hand sign real quick and go into that. Now, there was an incident, I think, at West Point, and you guys can look that up. And it comes, what is the guy's name? Is it Montel Williams, I think? He's been apparently kind of caping for these students who was throwing up the white power sign. You see that? What I'm throwing up right now? For those who are watching, I'm throwing up the white power sign. For those who are listening, they can't see it. So you just got to research and look that up. All right. But again, the white power sign. So with the three fingers, for those who don't know, that's supposed to represent the W. And then this right here, when you do this, and then you kind of go down your arm there, it's kind of could represent like a P, the letter P. But everybody or certain people would say this is the O. This just means okay. They're saying okay. And so there's been a lot of white people, males, females, what have you, who have been throwing up this sign, and then later on they claim they was playing, and then they'll say, oh, that's nothing, that's just an okay sign. And there are, unfortunately, black people and, of course, white people are gonna have been saying, no, that's the sign when you say okay, like, yeah, okay, I got you. But I also did a podcast. You guys got to look back. I forget which number it was. I also did a podcast where there was an intern in the White House who was throwing up the same sign. There's several incidents of white people throwing up the same sign. So I did a podcast. I forget which episode it was. So you guys just look that up. But I did a previous podcast talking about that, where there was an intern in the White House who was everybody else was throwing the peace sign or something like that, or just standing, just standing with their hands together or whatever. And then that one person, this one white guy, young boy, threw up the white power sign. My understanding is in that the Charlottesville incident, there was white people throwing up the white power sign, and some people, one person or more, between hurt and killed. There was some injured and somebody killed. And there was I think the Kavanaugh hearings. There was a lady, it was on the news, and I don't know if you'll end up finding it again, but there was a lady in the news. She had her hands in the white power sign, but she was putting it in her leg, on her leg, and kind of doing it upside down or another angle. She was throwing, and she was in the sitting in the hearings, doing the same exact thing. And I wanted to do this because a lot of people are still getting tricked and getting fooled to believing that this is nothing, this doesn't mean anything, that's not what they're doing. And I'm going to show you guys a video here in a minute to make my point very clear. When you end up hearing a lot of white people saying, oh no, that's just the okay sign, or they'll go, oh, I'm just playing, and some will act like they don't know what you're talking about, right? Or they'll act like they don't know what somebody's talking about, this white power sign. And they'll act like they didn't know it was that. But I'm going to show you a video where a white person acknowledges that this sign is the white power sign. All right. So I'm going to play a video for that. Okay. And again, like I said, that we're going to talk about Oprah a little bit and her issues. That seems to be a lot of issues with black men. And of course, we're going to talk about Nat Turner. The Nat Turner revolution, where he spanked him and a bunch of people spanked a few butts. And unfortunately, when he got caught, they severed his head, and they did some things with it. And then all of a sudden, years and years later, his skull shows up. All right. So now let's get into let me show you guys here the video. If I can get this pulled up. Again, this app is so dope, man. I could do a lot of stuff with it. So I'm gonna try to pull this video up and make sure it's working there. There we go. All right. So I only took a look at this video maybe a couple of times, and so I'm gonna probably play it and maybe play it a couple of times as well. This is a officer, I think. I'm not sure where they're at, so we're just gonna play the video. But what's important is what you're gonna hear in the video. All right. And of course, again, I'll play it a couple of times. All right. So let me go ahead and play this real quick for you guys to hear. Okay, hold on. Stand by. Stand by, ladies and gents. Let me see if I can get this. Find out what's going on with the video here. If it doesn't play like I need it to play, I will definitely explain to y'all what went down. I'll play the video still, but just if it plays slow like that, I'll play it through so I can point out some people in it and what was being said. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to play this video just to see if it'll play in regular speed, and if not, then I'll go ahead and play it through and point some things out and tell you what was said. All right, so let's try it again here. That's real interesting. Let me see if I can expand it real quick here. Go over this way here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna replay it back and just remove the sound from it and explain to you what's going on here from what I can remember and then from what I'm seeing on the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this over here because for some reason I'm leaning in one way and it looks opposite to me on the screen. All right, so there we go. All right, so what apparently happened is there's a couple of white guys here, and I don't know if this is an airport or something here. It might be something dealing with an airport. And I think these guys came in just to film something and maybe to get this officer here to do something out of place or say something out of place. I don't know. Can't remember 100% sure. I just happened to see the video and what was being said. And so they're approaching them. They're trying to get in this office building or whatever. And it looks like there's some people in there, but they're trying to tell the officer, oh, it's a public place. And so the officer's telling them, no, hold on a minute. Y'all need to go outside. You're not coming in here. This is a private place. It's not, this area here is not public, but out there is public. And so he's trying to explain that to them. And so he keeps them from coming in. He closes the door. I think he may have locked it and started walking, to the front desk over there. And so as he's walking, they're running their mouth and they're calling him a sellout. Now these are the white guys calling this black officer here a sellout and whatever else. I couldn't remember. I think they kept more or less repeating sellout to him. Then what the officer, I guess he can still hear him through the glass or whatever. He says some things back to him. Nothing really out of the way. But then he throws up, the black officer goes, okay, whatever. Okay, and then the white guy that you see in the picture right now with the black hat and the glasses, he says, that's a white power sign. You're a sellout. That's a white power sign. So you have this white guy actually acknowledging that when the officer did this, he's even saying that's a white power sign. And I wanted to show this video because some people are getting tricked and they're getting fooled when other white people are talking about, no, this is not a white power sign. It's not true. And I don't know what that is. That's the okay sign. And people are falling for it. And like I said, I did a podcast show explaining and showing the picture of the standing with a whole bunch of, they took like a big group picture. I guess it must have been a bunch of interns. Look like young kids. They could have been 18 and between 18 and 25. They were young, and they were all standing with each other. Big group picture, I think, with Trump. And one of them out of everybody did this. Maybe a couple of them, but I think I remember one for sure. and I showed you the picture of it. So this is going on. This is the mindset, and this is what they're doing. And I wanted, like I said, I wanted to show you guys that. And then I wanted to make a point that they know what this means. They're playing you. All right. The white folks know what this means. All right. They're actually signaling, throwing hand signals to each other, sending messages to each other. All right. And so this guy here told the black officer, he was going, yeah, okay, because they was calling him names and saying whatever. You a sellout. He's like, yeah, okay, whatever, whatever. And when he did it, you could tell he was saying, okay, whatever. And the white guy here, again, like I said in the picture, for those who are watching, for those who aren't listening, you just have to come and check out and watch the actual podcast to see what I'm talking about. But the guy in the picture, the white guy with the sunglasses on and the ball cap, I guess he didn't want to be identified. He even tells the black officer, oh, that's you throwing up the white power sign. You're a sellout. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this video and then point some things out. All right, here we go. Auditing America talking. Let me see what that says again. Hold on. The video says Auditing America talking to New York City Amtrak police. Okay, the Amtrak. So, and you see the video. They're going to the, that's there, and it looks like they're in the Amtrak station. And they're walking towards where the officer is at. I guess where the Amtrak office could be at. Yeah, it says Amtrak. Oh, it's the Amtrak police. So that's their police station. So these guys are walking. So the officer comes out and he's approaching them, like, telling what's going on and finding out what's going on with them. And they're giving him a hard time, as you can see the officer looking. They're asking him for his name, and he's showing them like, hey, my name's right here. It's on my, for whatever reason they're asking for his name. So what they think they're trying to do is get a rise out of him and get him to do something out of character. And he's realizing what's going on. He ain't going for it. And the guys is getting ready to come in, as you see on the video. And he's telling them, like, hold on, you're not coming in here. This is a private place right here. So he talks to them for a minute. They're trying to go back and forth. The white guy's telling them, like, no, it's public. The officer's telling them, as you can see his hands there. I'm going to go back a little bit. The officer kind of waved with his hands like, no, out there is the public and here is private. All right, so I'm going to go back again so you guys can see it. All right. So the guy was asking him, what's your name? The officer's saying, he's showing him on his shirt. My name's right here. There you go. It's seen it right. And they're acting like, I don't see your name. What's your name? And he's pointing like, yo, it's right here. He's realizing when they start talking about some nonsense, he's realizing what's going on there. So he's making sure they don't come inside. He's trying to let them know, hey, you're not allowed to come up in here. They're trying to test him. And as you guys see that he closes the door. The first time they opened the door up, I guess he locked it at that point. So now the officer's walking, he's behind the counter. And he's throwing up the okay sign, and they're telling him, that's a white power sign, man. That's a white power sign. And he's giving them thumbs up like, yeah, okay, whatever. All right. Let me see what happens here. I didn't realize he came back out. Okay. Apparently, I didn't watch the whole video. So there's more to it. There's some confrontation. But what I wanted to show you guys was that when he threw up the white power sign, and they're trying to give him a hard time. I guess they're trying to get him to do, to get out of character. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and, there we go. Oh, no. Okay, whew. I think we're still live here. I hope we're still live. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and exit that. I think I might have hit something, hit the end button, but I think I hit cancel so we can keep going. So hopefully I'm still live, ladies and gents, because I still see the timer going. So we're still good on that, all right? So I wanted to show you that to make that point about those who continuously are faking about they don't know what this means, and some black people are getting tricked because they're starting to believe the white not certain white people, but whoever is the white people that are saying that this is just means okay. Unfortunately, other people are believing this, and I wanted to show you the video. All right, and maybe I'll post that video up, and hopefully, it'll play better on I'll put it on the Facebook Norwood Media Vision page. Hopefully, it'll play in regular speed where you guys can actually see it. All right, so you can always go to Facebook, Norwood Media Vision on Facebook, and I probably will put it on Instagram as well, so you guys can see the actual video in real time. All right, and actually hear the white guy saying, "Hey, you throwing up the white power sign," to make the point that they know what that means. So if you don't need to be fooled, okay? So now let's talk about Oprah. All right. As you guys know, I'm gonna pull up one article here. I'm gonna pull up several pictures here. All right. I'm gonna pull up this one right here. Okay. Let me put this up a little bit here. Let's get this up here, make it look good. All right. Now you might be able to see that's Oprah in the picture, and I might pull up another one if I'm able to. But that's Oprah and there's a gentleman there. I forget what his name is. Let me read. Oh, I think his name. Yeah, his name is, I think, Joac Texera de Faria. He's known as John of God. All right. I think he might be in jail now. But as you guys know, Oprah has been on this type of this kick where she's so-called calling herself out there. Maybe she ain't saying it verbally, but she's going out there trying to expose black men. And a lot of people are starting to get, and they should have been pissed off with this lady, but she's been doing it. She's done Michael Jackson. There were some other people, I think. Of course, she had her buddy Gail jumped on R. Kelly's case. And then, of course, you got the Bill Cosby situation. And so now I think Oprah's supposedly getting ready to do something on Russell Simmons. All right. And so a lot of people was getting pissed off, and I think 50 Cent kind of chimed in on her with her nonsense, jumping on her case about that. How she going in on, trying to put out black men's garbage or whatever you want to say or however you want to put it. But for some reason, she always seems to be getting out of stuff that she's been involved in, and she's been linked to some dirty people as well. But it always seems like you don't hear too much about it, or things kind of get hush hush. And so here's one of many that I'm going to pull up here where she is linked to some dirty dudes, all right? Some dirty dudes, and they're not black. But she doesn't seem to do stories on them, right? So this guy here, the John of God dude, he was apparently accused of, he might have got convicted of using holy status, if you will, to end up raping a bunch of women or maybe some girls or a combination of. So you guys can see the article here. Let me see. Appeared on Oprah Winfrey in 2013, but he's now a fugitive in Brazil after the judge issued an arrest warrant. All right. Let me see if I can pull something else up real quick here. If I can. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see here. Because maybe you guys can see his face. And he might have already gotten picked up. But I just wanted to make the point. All right, I wanted to make this point here. Yeah, here we go. Let me pull that on this side here, so you guys can get a little bit better picture of this dude here. All right. So same article, you see Oprah there with this guy, this dirty, wretch dude who's been out there using his status to rape some women, as it says here, sexually abused. Oprah Winfrey on the run. Oprah Winfrey on the run amid sex abuse. Hold on. Oh, okay, Faith Healer. I'm looking at the other article, but it's the same one. I'm just had it cut off. But it says, as you guys can see, Faith Healer featured by Oprah Winfrey on the run amid sex abuse claims from 300 women. All right, but this is how she rolled. But did she, even after finding out, did she bother to go and do a documentary on the John of God dude, the Faith Healer dude? Come on now. Real hypocritical of her, ain't she? But a lot of y'all still probably were caping for her. And you probably still going to cape for her, even though she's going to do these documentaries. Michael Jackson, supposedly she's getting ready to do Russell Simmons. Unless she gets shut down because she's starting to get exposed by myself and others, 50 Cent and a bunch of other people. And maybe it won't come out at all, or maybe she'll do it with a little more intelligence about how she decides to move doing the documentary. Because y'all guys didn't know with the Michael Jackson thing, them two dudes was caught in a bunch of lies and had a lot of discrepancies in their story. And then I guess Oprah kind of started backing out and slipping out of that situation, like, whoa. And of course, you didn't hear too much about it. Nobody called Oprah out on it. All right? So I just wanted to show you that picture. And we're going to pull up some more here in a second. Okay. Boom. So I'm going to pull up some, let's pull up some more. All right? We want to get Oprah set straight. Okay? Boom. Not a good thing when your pops does some stuff, but nonetheless, Oprah Winfrey paid off woman who accused her father of exposing himself. All right? But if you didn't really go searching or whatever, you would have never known this. It's kept on the hush, even though the news is out there. She paid off a woman because who accused her father. I'm sure it's meaning Oprah's father. All right, this has a 2017 date on it because the dude exposed himself to this lady. So Oprah put in that cash a little bit, and let's keep you quiet, homegirl. Let me give you that cash. But she's ready to dog these black men out. Now, to me, it always seemed like that, even in the past, because even throughout her times when she had her show, her demeanor always seemed like it was kind of off with black dudes, and even when she interviewed them, it was some kind of, you could tell something wasn't right. And I remember, didn't she even mention something about she was sexually abused by a man? I don't know if I'm not gonna say it was a pops or somebody, but my understanding wasn't she kind of said that she was. And so I guess now is the thing, like, well, I'm of every black dude who accused of something, I'm gonna expose them. I'm gonna do this documentary for whatever reason. And so this is what she's doing, but she's not putting her stuff out there. I just showed you the dude that she involved, the faith healer, the faith healer dude, and she's not doing a documentary on him, right? And who knows if the faith healer dude was part of the Epstein clique, right? Because there's a lot of people hooked up with the Epstein joint. I'm sure, including Oprah herself. And we're going to get into another article. So let me pull up another one real quick. Let me pull up another one here. Let me get it popping for you ladies and gents. Before I get into that one, let's look at some other stuff she's been involved in. Let me get that one. And let me pull up another one here. All right, let me get another one out real quick. Kind of related. There we go. Roughly the same one. Well, kind of. Let me see what new. Okay, they both say daily news, but it's two different kind of wordings and who we have up here. Let me see. Two different dates as well from these articles. So it has one: Oprah Winfrey ordered to stand trial in case linked to sex abuse scandal at her all-girls school. And then the other one says Oprah Winfrey disappointed women accused of abusing teens at her South Africa school was acquitted. Okay. Oprah Winfrey disappointed women accused of abusing teens at her South Africa school was acquitted. So here you go, another scandal involving her. We don't know if that was that whole Africa school thing. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm sure she knows Epstein or knew Epstein. And who's to say she didn't get that school for that whole purpose, to help out Epstein and a few other people as well? Who's to say that wasn't the case all along? Who's to say that wasn't the game all along? You know, I'm not saying it is, but when you start sitting down and really thinking about stuff and kind of putting some stuff together, it starts giving you like a moment, right? It starts making you wonder about some things. And so, again, I'm just pointing these articles out because she's been in so many scandals that they always seem to be on the hush, but she real quick to go ahead and put other people out there hanging, putting black men she quick to want to do that. So there was another thing where, is she being kind of forced to do this, or does she have an issue with black men, or is it a combination of the two? Is it a combination that maybe somebody knows that she kind of has an issue with black men, and maybe, I can't say necessarily dark skin, but maybe more or less, even though Russell Simmons is not the darkest dude on the planet. And so who's to say, man, if she has some type of issue with black males, right? And I remember 50 Cent. I think she had interviewed 50 Cent some years ago, but shout out to him, because regardless, he's not I guess in this particular instance, I can't say for everything, it wasn't a thing where you're going to be loyal to somebody because they interview you, but yet you're going to be kind of dirty. So he spoke up on Oprah's nonsense, regardless if she interviewed him or not. So that's why I say shout out to him, because it's not like a thing where, oh man, I interviewed by Oprah, so I'm going to stay loyal to her. I'm going to ride or die with her regardless of the dirt she's in or involved in the scandals or whatever. Nah, he wasn't with it, so he spoke up about that. Okay? So that's another scandal she was involved in. All right? Let's pull up some more here. We're going to get it. We're going to get some things set straight. Okay? Let me see here. Maybe have like one more here or two more. All right? We're going to put out this one. Okay? We're going to put that one out. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this one out. All right? Hopefully you guys are still here with me. For those who are going to be watching the playback, I'm going to check it out myself. If it turns out to be good money with this app, okay? So for those who are listening, I have two articles up, two different ones. And the point I was talking about earlier, she's always on the black guys, right? But she pals around with Harvey Weinstein. Okay? Did Oprah pal around with Harvey Weinstein? 5 problematic issues. All right? And there's another article out. You can kind of do your research. I'm just pulling out these. And I could have pulled out some more and we'd be here a little bit longer, but which is cool with me. But I decided just to pull these out just to make a point and have a little receipts for you guys as well. To say that she gets involved in all these scandals, but they always seem to either disappear or stay on the hush hush where she's not out there in the news like that. And the news people are not really putting her out there like that, right? But she wants to do these documentaries on some black males and whatever dirt or whatever suspected dirt they've done, right? And so we're calling her out. Other people are calling her out on her BS, okay? And it's either going to do some things. It's either going to force her hand on some stuff. It's going to force her and her handlers maybe to get back into the strategy room and strategize on how to move again, because they keep putting her out there. Apparently, she's not her own woman. She's apparently being puppeted, even though she's a billionaire. Apparently, her billions is not as powerful as some other people's billions. So they're gonna puppet her around and have her, hey, at this time we're gonna get you to expose Russell Simmons now. You did Michael. It's time to get on Russell Simmons a bit. And people are not feeling her. And I hope you people start waking up on a lot of this games and nonsense that's going on, okay? I hope y'all start waking up for real. And so with that being said, again, here's the article here. And here's another article. I think that was the one I was probably talking about. You have an actress, Weinstein used Oprah and Naomi to seduce me. And I forget what this girl's, I think her name might be Katie and Noble. I think that's her name. And she was an aspiring actress. And she said that Oprah and that Weinstein used Oprah and Naomi Campbell. Y'all know the model, Naomi Campbell. I thought she was cool. But apparently, Naomi and Oprah roll with that Weinstein. And so she was upset. I don't know if this case that's coming up may have something to do with her. Who knows? That Weinstein's, I think he's supposed to be going to trial or something, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all guys look it up. I haven't researched that fully. I just kind of looked at some things, some flash information. And I think Weinstein goes to court in January. And I don't know if this woman here is involved with it. This woman right here. I think her name's, again, it might be Katie and Noble, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so apparently Weinstein had Oprah and Naomi. They must have sent her over there, and they started talking to her and getting it set up so, Weinstein can kind of get with this girl. Hey, I'm live. So let's get here. Oh, here we go. Got a phone call coming in, and so anyway, there we have it with that, okay? So I wanted to kind of expose that a little bit so some people can kind of start waking up and thinking a little bit more, and also kind of keeping their eyes and ears open a little more, and also might have a mind to go ahead and do a little research and go hit that Google and type in a few things when you hear about this stuff. If other people have their podcasts and talking about it, or you see it on the news, go onto your phone or your laptop and just type in what you hear and kind of read through some stuff. You might find some things outside of the scope of what the podcast or the news people are talking about. You might find what they're talking about and then find some extra stuff. All right. So I just wanted to do that again so you guys can be aware that Oprah is not what she really seems to be. There's something going on with her. Either she has people controlling her with her billions, even though she has a billion, or she has some issue with black males for some reason. And it could have been related to her molestation or something to that effect. I think she said that happened to her years ago when she was a kid, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so, and it might be a combination. There might be people knowing this about her, and so they're going to use her and say, well, let's just say the people behind her, the people she knows that have a lot more power than she does, might feel like, yo, we need to go after Russell Simmons because he might start talking and expose us. So we're going to get Oprah my girl Oprah, we gonna get her and start do a documentary on him, so we can start putting him out there. Now, when I what just came to mind, I want you guys to, for those listening and those watching, write this title down. It's either gonna be exactly how I said it, or it's gonna be close to it, and it still should be on YouTube somewhere. You should be able to find it. There's a I guess you could say it's a movie. It's called The Brotherhood of the Bell, if I'm not mistaken. Some of y'all might even know what it is already. It's called The Brotherhood of the Bell. Watch that show. I think they somebody might have digitized it because I think it was in black and white, and now I think you can see it in color now. You know how they redo old stuff and add the color now with so much technology. You can do that nowadays. So I think what's going on is that they made it into color, but watch that movie. It still should be somewhere on YouTube, and it'll show you how when you don't want to do certain things, there's this kind of secret society that they'll use people to get to you. So say for instance, if you are a prominent person and you might be a prominent actor or whatever, and they want somebody to become president of the United States, and you're so prominent, people will follow you and watch you and kind of do what you say. And so a group of people over here want to try to make sure something happens, or somebody in office, and they want this person to kind of hang around with the person they want in office because it'll give that person some more clout, and more people will say, "Oh, you rocking with him? Oh yeah, I'm gonna vote for him because you rocking with him." And so what happens is if the person refuses, like, "Nah, I don't want to roll with him because this guy or this girl is dirty. They did dirty stuff. I don't care to want to associate with them." And then if you don't want to do it, they'll start doing things to try to mess your life up. They'll put stuff on TV, and they could be lies or whatever, but they can do things to mess you up and make you look like a nut. So that kind of reminds me what's going on with Oprah. That kind of reminds me of that particular movie. So again, watch The Brotherhood of the Bell. All right, it's called The Brotherhood of the Bell. All right, The Brotherhood of the Bell. Watch that, and you'll get some insight on some things that kind of wake you up to a few things here. Okay. So now, lastly, before I get out of here, let me talk about this article here. It's kind of sad, man. It's kind of messed up. This right here. I came across this article because I heard somebody else talk about it. And so I said, let me look this up. And lo and behold, it's there. And there's other articles. I could get it, but I'll leave it. It all says roughly the same thing. And as it reads here, it says Nat Turner's alleged skull returned to four greats granddaughters after 185 years. And so when I was reading one of the articles, in this picture here, it says, I think her name is Shauna Batten Aguirre, but there's another granddaughter as well, which could be her sister or cousin or something to that effect. And I think the other girl's last name is Woods. I can't remember her first name. So apparently there was so much hate that because they didn't back in them days, you dare rebel and stand up for yourself and want to protect what somebody's doing to you. And so it was Nat Turner, and apparently, from what I heard and understood, is that after they caught Nat Turner, they chopped him up, and some white people ate pieces of him. Some people kept some of his skin as souvenirs, and apparently somebody got his head and kept his skull for all this time, all these years. And so then it was apparently sent back to the granddaughters, the great granddaughters of Nat Turner. Now, when I read the article, it was saying that the granddaughters are going to have DNA testing or something done from off the skull, as well as have their DNA kind of taken, so to see if there's an actual match, and then if it turns out to be a match, they're gonna send it to one of the museums or whatever. But it's the thought of that you had a black man way back when stand up for themselves, because that's not what people want you to, or for black people to understand, black males in particular, but black people specifically or generally, for some reason, and even now, because with this so-called toxic masculinity nonsense, apparently they don't want, and it seems to be geared towards black males, they don't want it, a black male, to be masculine. So, like, it's something, why is being a masculine black man toxic? Like, just being a masculine man is toxic for some reason. And so, someone had so much hate, and I don't know who actually had it in recent years, had Nat Turner's skull, whoever had it and was passing it around to one person to the next, or one group or one family to the next, and then they decided once they got done with it, oh, we're going to hand it back now to their great, great, great. He has some relatives now that are still living, and we're going to hand it to them. It must have been so much hate and fear, I suppose, in their heart that they would do something like that. Hold this man's skull. There's no place where he was buried, because my understanding is that he was chopped up, and again, some people used his skin, some people ate parts of him, and you can figure out who did it, who ate, what group of people would do stuff like that, who has a known, even if you study history, this has happened, known to do things like that, eat a person. We can even speak on Jeffrey Dahmer's too. He ate some people too. So you can put the pieces together of what I'm talking about. And then when they get done and they like, oh, we tired of him, we just gonna give his skull back to the family. How dirty is that, man? And whatever else is going on, who knows what they were doing with that head? They could have been doing all types of stuff with their head and decided now we're gonna send it back. They could have been spitting on it. They could have been doing some satanic stuff to that darn skull. Who knows? And then they're gonna send it back to the family. That's crazy, man. That's real crazy and evil. All right. And so, like I said again, I don't remember what year, but it says 3 years ago. I don't know if that's from 2019, but apparently it's been recent. In recent years, they wanted to give back the skull to any living family members. And so, like I said, they're going to have testing done on it, and the great, 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 great granddaughters are saying that if it turns out that it is a match, they're going to go ahead and send it to one of the black museums. I think one in Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. That's who they're going to give it to. All right, so there you have it for this particular episode. And I appreciate you guys for checking it out. This was just something that was kind of on my mind to go do. I didn't want to wait on it till next year and sit on it. I wanted to put that out. All right. And just make people aware things are going on they're not aware of. Okay. And so with that being said, this episode has been brought to you by The Product Store. You guys go to theproductstorecompany.com. Check out what they have in the store. Books, Kindle books, clothes. There are going to be more products coming out. Dolls for special holidays. They have some Valentine's dolls and a Christmas bear. One left on the Christmas bear, so you guys might want to, if you're thinking about that, might want to pick that up. Some online courses you guys can take if you're interested in the online courses that they have. So, and they're going to be expanding more and more products as time goes on. So be sure to check out the product store, all right? That's theproductstorecompany.com. All right, so I appreciate you guys for coming in, for checking out the show, listening to the show, those who are listening. Spotify is blowing up big. A lot of listeners on Spotify. I have a lot of listeners on Spotify, as well as the social media platforms. You guys are checking that out. And I definitely appreciate you guys for doing that. And I'm about to get on out of here. I mean, I'm getting hungry and it's time to eat. I think that's what that call was, like to signal me to say, like, hey man, it's time to go. It's time to eat. And again, I appreciate you guys. Again, I'm working with a new app here. I'm going to check it out later on and see what the replay looks like. If it looks nice, then I'll tell you about the app. Some of you might already know about one of the live streaming apps. This is one of two apps I have to go live stream, but I'm going to use the other app for something else. All right? But I'm going to use this for a purpose as well. So I'm testing these things out as well as doing the show at the same time. I figured, well, let me go on and do this show and see how it comes out. All right? But again, I thank you guys for listening. Please keep listening. Those who are on social media, let me do this. I got this to do right here. First of all, I want you guys to like the channel, all right? And I want you guys to subscribe to the channel as well. Tell your people, tell your friends, family about the Norwood Media Vision channel. And also, incidentally, you can also go on YouTube to a channel called Thoughts of the Week, because that's my podcast show. And it's going to be on a channel on YouTube called Thoughts of the Week as well. So you can go to Norwood Media Vision, which has different shows, including this podcast. Or if you just want to listen to the podcast itself, and that's all you are concerned with, you can go to Thoughts of the Week. Podcast is expanding, and it's on 2 channels as well, all right? So I want to thank you guys for checking out the show. Again, I keep saying that repeatedly, and I definitely appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, there we go. Another thank you for you guys. Let's test some stuff out, man. For those who are not, for those who are listening, I'm using a new app again, like I said, and I'm just using some features now that I'm putting on the screen as I'm talking, and for you guys to check out. All right, and again, I appreciate it. Can't say it enough. Again, tell your friends, family, coworkers, your next door neighbor, hey, check out this podcast show called Thoughts of the Week, man. You're gonna like it. All right. And with that being said, I'm out of here. Peace. One love. I'm out.